I took this job because I needed money. I stayed because something would not let me leave. My name is Michael Granger. I was a janitor, just a guy fixing broken lights and cleaning out furnaces. When I got laid off, I said yes to the first offer that came. 3 months in an Arctic ghost town, all expenses paid. Too easy. But this place, it is not abandoned. It is waiting. Tables are still set. Beds are still warm. Jackets hang on chairs like someone just stepped out and never came back. The wind talks here, not in gusts, in sentences. Last night, I heard my name echo from a sealed house no one ever mentioned. This morning, I found footprints outside my door. Bare, human, and not mine. If you are watching this, do not try to find me. The town remembers everyone who enters, and it does not forget. Last night, I heard it laugh. Not from the radio, not in my head, from right outside the window. I had sealed every door, every window, even stuffed towels beneath the cracks. But when I looked up, something moved past the glass, too fast to catch fully. A blur, tall, pale, wrong. I did not sleep. This morning, I found every door in the town wide open, every single one, even the ones I had never touched. House 3, House 9. The church on the hill that I swore was locked with chains. All open, all empty, except for House 17. Its door was still bolted shut. But now, the bolt was on the inside. I approached slowly. My boots crunched against snow that felt too soft, almost like ash. I called out. I do not know why. Maybe I hoped someone, anyone, would answer. Instead, I heard movement, slow, deliberate, like someone dragging a chair across wood. But there is no wood flooring in that house, only concrete. I backed away. I left it alone. For now. I have started marking days on the wall with a nail. There should be 15 marks. There are only 12. I checked twice. I do not know what that means. I am afraid to sleep, but I am more afraid to stay awake. I found a journal today in one of the houses. Old, water-stained, brittle. It belonged to someone named Reed Carver. The last entry was short. February 3rd. The town is awake again. We were never alone. I do not know who we was. There are no records, no files, just empty homes and quiet rooms. Except last night, I swear I saw someone watching from the steeple of the church. Not moving, just standing there, too still for too long. I turned away for a second. When I looked back, they were gone. But now, the door to the church is wide open, and something is singing inside. The singing will not stop. It starts every night at the same time, 3:17 a.m. Low, hollow voices, like a choir with no words, just tones, dissonant, ancient. It comes from the church and only the church. Today, I went in. I waited until the light outside dimmed into that dull gray again. I armed myself with the only thing I had, a rusted crowbar I found in the utility shed. I do not know what I expected to find. A generator humming, a speaker on a loop, something explainable. Instead, I found silence. Complete, deafening silence, the kind that makes your ears ring. The pews were all perfectly aligned, unused for years, but clean, too clean, no dust, no cobwebs. And there were footprints leading up the aisle. Not mine. They ended at the altar. Behind it, the wall was scorched, circular, like something had burned there, or maybe opened there. I do not know how else to describe it. There was something carved into the floorboards, dozens of names, overlapping, repeating. Some were scratched out. My last name was among them, Granger. I swear to you, I never told anyone I was coming here. My contract was signed under a dummy company. No digital record. So how did my name end up here? When I turned to leave, the doors were shut. Not just shut, sealed. I tried prying them open, slamming them, yelling. Nothing. Then the singing began again from directly above me. I looked up. There is no second floor in that church, no balcony, no choir loft. But something was up there, something watching. The ceiling creaked like it was breathing. And then, the doors opened on their own. No wind, no shift in air pressure. They just opened. I ran back to the admin cabin, locked everything again. Now, the journal entries I scratched into the wall, the ones I counted. There are 11, one less than yesterday. It is like the town is peeling my time away. One day, one memory, one breath at a time. And something wants me to forget I ever got here. I woke up on the floor this morning. Not the bed, not the chair. The floor. My clothes were soaked through. Not with sweat, with snowmelt. The door was wide open again. My boots were missing. My feet, blistered, cracked, as if I had walked miles barefoot across ice. But I do not remember leaving. The wall where I had scratched the tally marks, they are gone. The nail is still there, rusted and crooked. But the marks, not scratched over, erased, like someone wiped the wall clean and painted over it. I checked my logbook. It says today is February 6th, but the sun has not moved for what feels like 3 days. The same dull gray, the same shadows, frozen in place. I think the town is trying to keep me in a loop. I keep hearing a voice now. It is mine, whispering from behind walls, from the vents, from the mirror. It keeps saying, "You are almost ready." Ready for what? This evening, I saw movement outside cabin 12. That one had been empty since I arrived. I approached slowly, windows fogged, curtains drawn. But I saw a shape, human, standing perfectly still. I knocked. No answer. When I opened the door, the cabin was freezing. Every surface covered in a thin sheet of frost. There was a fire burning in the fireplace, but the flame was not moving. It was frozen, flickering midair like a paused video. And in the center of the room, there I was, sitting in the chair, staring at the door, wearing my face, my clothes, my expression. I blinked. He did not. I backed out slowly, shut the door, turned and ran. I do not know how long I was gone. I am writing this now, but the sky still looks exactly the same. No sunset, no stars, just that eternal gray. And the worst part, when I passed by the old community sign on my way back, the letters had changed. It no longer said, "Welcome to McAllister." Now it says, "You never left." The human brain is not built for stillness. Not like this. Days, I think they are days, have passed without change. No wind, no sun, no sound beyond my own footsteps and the distant crunch of ice. The cold does not feel like weather anymore. It feels like presence. Today, I returned to the old post office. I had passed it before. Empty shelves, toppled boxes, a shattered radio in a corner that once played static, but now hums with silence. But something called me back. Behind the counter, I found a drawer I must have missed before. It stuck when I tried pulling it, like something inside had frozen it shut. I had to pry it open with both hands. Inside were letters, dozens, yellowed with age, some ripped, others unopened, all addressed to people I never met. But a few had no names, just one word written in shaky red marker. READR. I opened one. Inside was a single sheet of paper, no greeting, no date, no signature. It said, "It wears your face. It speaks in your voice. Do not follow it if it smiles." I read it 3 times before I realized. The ink was still wet. I searched the rest of the drawer. Letter after letter. Warnings. Apologies. Pleading notes scratched in uneven handwriting. One of them was addressed to Michael Granger. Me. It read, "You came here once already. You made the same mistake. This place is a loop, but it remembers you. You will not survive a third time. I dropped it. My hands were shaking. The paper landed near a small mirror on the floor, cracked, leaning against the wall. In it, I saw myself. Only, my reflection was not shaking. It stood completely still, watching. Then it smiled. I ran. I am back in the cabin now. The door is locked, but I do not trust it anymore. Every time I blink, the air feels heavier, like the town is waiting. And on the cabin wall, someone scratched a final message. The only way out is to forget who you are. I am not sure how much longer I can hold on to that. There is a hatch beneath the church. I saw it in one of the photographs, a dusty frame left behind in the general store. It showed the chapel in its prime. Fresh paint, clean snow, but what caught my eye was the barely visible metal plate near the altar. I returned to the church today. The inside was as I remembered. Pews warped with cold, stained glass shattered in places, the pulpit dark and hollow like a missing tooth. I moved the altar aside. Beneath it, a square cut into the floorboards. The hatch. No hinges, no handle, just a seam in the wood and a cold draft rising through it. I pried it open with a crowbar I found behind the pulpit. It groaned like a dying animal. Below, a metal ladder descending into black. No markings, no light. I climbed down. The air changed, not colder, still, like everything below had been preserved in death. My flashlight flickered, and for a moment I saw nothing but my breath hanging motionless in the air. The tunnel below was narrow, carved into ice, but reinforced with steel ribs like a frozen ribcage. Every footstep echoed. Along the walls, carvings, thousands of them. Names, symbols, phrases scratched in desperate, uneven hands. You forget to leave. It dreams through us. Stop digging. Stop remembering. Deeper in, I found a door. Industrial. Rusted. Stamped with an old government seal. Half faded. I pushed it open. Inside was a chamber. No lights. Just a soft red glow pulsing from the center. A massive structure. Part machine. Part organic. Embedded in the ice like a fossil. Cables ran through the walls like veins. Something inside the machine was moving, breathing. And in the ice surrounding it, faces, hundreds of them, pressed into the frozen walls, screaming, silent, their eyes still open. Mine was among them. Not a reflection, not a hallucination. My actual face, my same scar above the eyebrow. My mouth, open mid-scream, frozen solid in the ice. I turned and ran, but the tunnel had changed. No ladder, no hatch above me, only more ice and whispering. So many voices, all mine. I do not remember how long I have been down here. There is no clock, no sun. The concept of hours feels like a story I once heard long ago. The whispers have grown louder, no longer echoes, no longer mine. They speak in chorus now, voices I recognize, but not from memory. From inside, they ask me to stay. They show me things, flickers behind my eyelids, visions of people walking these halls decades ago. Miners, scientists, soldiers, each one smiling at first, each one slowly forgetting who they were, until they vanished. The town was never built above something. It was built to contain something, and it failed. I found a room. Walls of black ice. No door. Just a single mirror standing in the center, as tall as a man and shaped like a coffin. When I looked into it, I saw not just myself, but every version of myself that had ever entered this place. Dozens of me. Some weeping, some screaming. One smiled with teeth too sharp. One stepped forward and spoke. "You came here to escape your life," he said. "This is the only place where you matter." I wanted to run, but there was nowhere left to go. So I asked, What do you want from me? The mirror flickered. My reflection disappeared. And I saw you, reading this, a face I do not know. Somehow, I am writing this now, but I am no longer holding a pen. If you are reading this, if this journal made it out, then there is still time. Do not come here. Forget the town's name. Forget my name. Because the more you remember, the closer it gets. I can feel it behind me now. Smiling. Waiting.